Good morning. Well, it's morning for me. Might not be morning for you. Afternoon, evening. Hello, welcome to another vlog of the Yard Guitars. I have something interesting for me. May not be interesting for most, but there'll be a few of you that will find this also interesting. And it's to do with the CNC, electrics, and something I have bought. So one of the main things that I've been dealing with is dust, and all my best efforts of soundproofing actually collects all the dust and it sits, and you can see it actually on the window here. And this is obviously a problem not only for my health, but just generally it takes so long to try and clean up. And I've been using my trusty Henry Hoover. But now I have taken the plunge and ordered my own extractor. One of the great things about the Stony Exec is that this one came with this extraction dust boot, so it's adjustable up and down, but also this little boot here, this one will swing and then you can place it underneath. It locks into place like so, and then the spindle can move up and down independently because this is all mounted on an arm which is on the gantry. So it's a really nice big kit. That then goes up to this 120 by 60 box section and then turns into a 100mm diameter outlet, inlet, whatever it is. And then I've got to then somehow send it through the wall somewhere here, which will be suspended in the ceiling. And I'm going to come through, and then I'm going to have my extractor somewhere here. Now this is obviously a problem. So with the extractor going to go here, I've got a bit of an issue. Now one, I do know it's a large one. It's the AP170E, which means lots of sucking, and it's 170 litres bag capacity. Not that I'm going to be filling it with liquid, but apparently that's a lot. And it's one that I have used at a previous place of work, so I know it's pretty good. And it comes with two inlets. So I could go for the 175 main single inlet, but it's actually got this twin split out for two 100mm, which reduces the overall draw, but it's far more powerful enough to draw just for this CNC. It then also gives me an extra inlet so then I can do the floor. This really came about because when I was doing a job for Paul, all his little jazzy parts trays, you can see I've done some hoovering, but it gets everywhere. The problem I've now got is extractor's going to go there to reduce the length of the extraction tubing, also the electrics. So the guy who actually wired in the lights for in here has also come over, and we spoke about the project intended, and we've made sure that on the amperage and the consumer unit, as long as I'm not starting up the vac pump, the CNC and the extractor all at the same time, I won't blow the fuse because it has a peak draw and then it plateaus out. It's just one of those things. Because of the size of the extractor, it doesn't run on one of those domestic 3-pin plugs. I've had to, luckily, when I did all the electrics, I actually bought two of these, one spare, because I thought, whilst I'm buying it all in one go, and also I've got the breaker itself, and this is suitable for that draw and peak draw or whatever it is. I'm no Sparky, but that guy is. So I won't be touching any, oh, there we go. I won't be touching anything in there because I've done leisure vehicle wiring. So I've done basic AC stuff, but nothing to that draw and voltage. Whereas DC wiring, all 12 volts or 24 volts, and it's quite simple. And this is another kettle of fish. So with the electrics confirmed and he's going to wire it in, that means the extractor's going to go there. I then need to move this across, which also causes then another problem because my wife's motorbike is underneath this dust sheet. So that will have to then move to here. So the workbench is going to go because I don't actually use it, and you can see it's just become a bit of a storage area. Everything's been looped around in this conduit up here. Because these are connected, I'm going to disconnect this one, pull the cable back, and then come back to here, remove that one, and then swap it out for the 16 amp switch. And it does just fit, and I don't have to faff about with moving that one there, and it will be nice and perfect. this is what I'm talking about with all the dust. It's awful. Just gets everywhere. So I have removed that one from the loop and basically pulled it back and then dropped it down there, so I've got some random bit of cable left over. So now this is where I'm going to basically put my laptop onto this one, because everything's going to be moved over. The bike will go where the bench is. Because all the conduit's there, I might as well keep that position. So I'm going to now put the 16 amp switch there and then basically run the cable through, and I'm going to leave that up to the Sparky to properly plumb in, but I'm going to get it all in place ready for him to then sign off. I didn't stop there though, because when I was putting this back onto the CNC, because I didn't want to have it there when I wasn't going to use it, because it's just kind of gets in the way, and visually it's not as nice if it's just the spindle. When I was putting it up and down, this is 120 by 60, I think 3mm thick steel. It's really thick and also very heavy. Now there is a little handle here when you can undo that, and with this handle move it up and down, which is fine, but it's quite heavy, and for me the rest of the machine is all aluminium, bar the table, but you know, it's all aluminium, and up here it's painted white steel, but it's all a little bit more in keeping. And what's lighter than steel? Aluminium. I have just delivered from Aluminium Online 120 by 60 3mm thick box section, and this is longer than I need it to be, and I can basically pick it up just by the fingers. Messaged a good friend of mine, Connor Brody, and I'm hoping I can deliver it to him with that one, and then he's going to drill some holes in the alley, because he's got a mill and he can drill a hole truer and squarer than I could ever. So hopefully I can get that done. See, I've stripped actually all the parts off of this steel box section, and it is heavy. It's really heavy, and the reason why I'm doing this is not to look in keeping with the aluminium on the CNC, but it's because this is going to be on the gantry, and I've got to move it up and down when changing tools and adjusting it for the height of the stock, so I get the best draw on the extraction. But it's just heavy. Like, that's going to put obviously unnecessary weight on the gantries. Yes, these are servo motos, and I know this is overkill, but I am fastidious. If you've ever watched any of my videos, you'll know my attention to detail is a bit over the top, and this is just an extension of that. And because I'm actually putting in extraction, I'm going over the top because I want it perfect. So now I need to open up this one before I send it over to my friend, and I want to measure or weigh them and compare the two. The extraction ducting has arrived. I didn't buy it through Axminster because actually I was able to get a better deal in terms of the length of the pipe and also the accessories that are going to help it mount up onto the ceiling from a place called Ducting Express, and it only took a day and a bit just to get here. So let's get unboxing and let's get fitting it.
So I got this put up in a sort of rudimentary way. It's gone in through, basically there's plasterboard, there's like 2 layers of plasterboard for the garage ceiling. And I've used, what do they call them? Wall plugs. But I've had to use a nut because obviously this is designed to be bolted into those metal bracings. So I've had to use this wood screw into a nut, into a washer, but it's nice and secure. It's absolutely fine for now. And then I've got my hole. I'm sure Paul will say something funny about that.
Push it right in the anus.
So now I'm gonna make a 3D print a shroud just to tidy that up because God forbid I leave it like that. And then I'm gonna 3D print one for the other side so that it just, instead of having the ducting just go whoop and just 90 degrees against here, I'm basically going to give it like a little bit of a guide just to ease or transfer that radius a little bit nicer, so it goes down to where the extractor is going to go. So this, not the most accurate, but simple enough. This is 5.5 kilos, which is the steel original. And I'm gonna have to get different scales for this one. Mind you, I've got all the gubbins on it. And this is 2.964 kilos. So nearly half the weight. I think if it was just the aluminium, it would be half the weight. But this is the same thickness wall as well. But yeah, with all the hardware attached, it's nearly half the weight of just the steel alone. So that's interesting. But yeah, just even maneuvering it or holding it, it's going to be far. It's just so much lighter. So when I'm moving it up and down on the CNC, it's going to be much better. But yeah, let's put that on. It is the following day, and what was quite nice was when I was putting in the these, pretty much as soon as I finished, the Sparky came over and wired in my new 16 amp outlet, so that's all good to go. So what's remaining is to run the extraction ducting. I have my ducting adapter nozzle dust boot thing on the floor, and also whilst I was out, because in typical courier fashion it will be delivered between 8 AM and 6 PM, this arrived. The little box will be the bags, I think, probably the filter and then the base of it, don't know, we'll find out in I guess. So this will be an unboxing of that. So it's all put together. It's a little bit smaller than what I remember, or kind of, I mean, it's bigger than the AP60. This is the 170, so it's got the 2 inlets, and it's on the 16 amp breaker as opposed to the standard 13 amp domestic. So I've given it a bit of slack just to go up through the wall, so then it's not on a 90 degree. This is working as good as it can be within the build volume of what I've got, and then it goes through that onto the little hook into the CNC. So I've given it a bit of slack just to curve round again. I don't want it to kink it over. I wonder actually if it's worth having this maybe put a 90 degree, if it's there, maybe. Think about that later. I have siliconed, obviously, the gap of where the box section then goes to that adapter. So obviously we've got the vac pump there, which is going to draw nothing, but then it's then the startup of this. So let's give it a go. Apologies, neighbours. So that's just winding down, and then obviously I've got the room to be able to just wheel them out, put on it, spin that round. So actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to disconnect that and maybe pull it through here. So I'm going to undo it, because I've just thought is that I'm then going to hoover up all of that underneath the CNC and make it nice and clean. Maybe now, maybe tomorrow when I'm not so tired. It's actually not taking up too much room. So there you have it, it's all plumbed in, it's all working really nice, everything is loads cleaner, I've cleaned up underneath. I need to just go in with an actual hoover end to really tidy it up, but I've got that's all plumbed in, all working really nice, although I've sucked up something that I shouldn't have already. Luckily it got caught in the grill before it actually went to the propeller, because that would have been really messy. And yeah, so now I've got to get cracking with other projects like this 5-string custom bass. So thank you for watching. This has been quite a dry spell of a video. There's lots of content. I'm working on things in the background, just waiting for a few things to kind of happen before I can pull the trigger and do some more uploads. But thank you for everyone who's joined me. If you've liked this particular style of video, please let me know in the comments section down below. If you have any suggestions on other things that I could do with my workshop, yeah, again, let me know. So till the next time, thank you very much.